Welcome back. It's still Morning Rush on Metro Television. We are live on DSTV channel 277, live on Facebook, and YouTube is Metro TV Ghana. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Metro TV _GH. My guest goes by the name DELLASIE. She's a humanitarian, she's a recording artist and entrepreneur, and she is actually dedicated to shedding more light on skin cancer awareness, especially skin bleaching. DELLASIE, it's good to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm very well this morning. And you?
I'm also good. Thanks for asking. Nice. So, DELLASIE, one will ask, why is it really important to take care of my skin? I mean, it's something that I'll have it forever. But then why is it so important to take care of
that's absolutely why, because you do have it forever. And you know, what some people don't realize is that our skin is our biggest organ, and it's also our most vulnerable. So it's really in our best interest to take the best care of it that we can. And particularly with skin cancer, you know, we've always been led to believe that it's a white man's disease because we have melanin, and we've been taught that melanin is a protectant, which it is, which is why, you know, people of color can be in the sun all day long and not suffer from heat rash and skin burning and things like that, like some Caucasians have to face when they're in the sun. We actually can endure that because of our protection. But what has changed in the last maybe 25 or 30 years is the Industrial Revolution and all of the pollution that we've been putting in the air with all the manufacturing, all the factories, all the cars. You know, if you drive down the freeway, you'll see these Truskies and all the smoke and the fumes that's coming, or older cars, pickups and stuff that you see with all the fumes. That accumulates, you know, into our atmosphere, and that causes the ozone layer that is there naturally to protect us from these rays. It depletes it. Okay. So a lot of it is depleted, and so now those really powerful UV rays are hitting us. Yes. And it's you know, our skin is so sensitive to those things. So what I suggest for people to do is to use SPF, which it stands for Skin Protectant Formula. Yeah, I think it's like a new trend. Everyone who is so much into their skin routine, especially on their face, they're always saying SPF, SPF. Yes. You tell us about that, but then let's touch a bit on what inspired you personally to begin this journey of dedicating and shedding more light on skin cancer. Certainly. Well, yes, in terms of SPF, there are specific products on the market for this, but I personally don't like them because it tends to leave your skin looking like ashy and gray because of, you know, some of the chemicals they use. But I personally would suggest shea butter. Shea butter is a natural skin protectant, as well as vitamin E oil, lanolin oil, frankincense, and titanium dioxide. These are products that you could find almost anywhere, health food store, market, and, you know, use it, you know, regularly on your skin, and it'll give you some certain layer of protection. Okay. Yes.
Now let's touch on the inspiration.
Yes. Well, I first started this initiative in 2016. What initially inspired me was I was invited to a high school to do career day. I'm a recording artist, and they wanted me to come and talk to them about, you know, the lifestyle of being in music and entertainment and what that's, you know, all about. Yeah. The kids were really interested, and in particular, there were these 3 girls that came to see me afterwards, these 3 black young ladies, and they were saying to me that they really want me to go far in music because they feel like women that look like me aren't represented in a big way on a large scale. Yeah. And they feel that I look relatable because they're like, you look like me, you know, and I want to see me in those positions.
In that space,
And although Beyonce and Rihanna are very beautiful women, they still fit into a very narrow version of what Black beauty is. Yeah. You know, Blackness is so diverse, from the very, very light, like the albino, you know, light, to very, very deep dark that even goes beyond, you know, my skin tone. And everything in between is so beautiful, and it's cause for celebration. So I don't know why it's such a small segment of that beauty that is exposed to the world. But it's about diversity and inclusion. So when I heard those girls say that, it kind of sparked something in me. And then a few months later, I went to a luncheon at my late uncle Kofi Annan's home. Okay. And I was speaking with him, and he said, oh, your parents tell me you're touring and you're doing all this stuff in music. Let me know how I can help. And I said, well, I would love your help, but not with music. Okay. You know? He was one of the most prolific humanitarians that we've ever seen, you know, and he did so much with his legacy that still continues on beyond him. And I was like, Uncle, I want to do more than just dance and sing and
Singing.
make people, you know, happy. I actually want to make some kind of impression on this world. And I don't know where to begin. There's so many problems. There's world hunger, there's human trafficking, there's environmental issues, there's animals going extinct, and I care about all of these things. So where do I begin?
Start, yeah.
And he said, go home, think about what frustrates you, and use that energy, use that vim to work towards a solution. So I literally did that. Like that very day I went home, I'm like, you know what really irritates me? And then I'm like, oh, colorism. You know, that irritates me. So I started looking up the health implications, and that's when I came across skin disease, skin cancer, skin bleaching, all of these things that are all interconnected. So that's really where
everything
started from.
When you interact with people, especially people who have bleached their skin, what is the main reason why they are doing that? Do they share that with you? If they do, share some with us.
Yes, I've heard some explanations. Like, for instance, some women truly believe that they have a better chance of marrying a better man.
If they bleach their skin?
Yes,
or if they look fair?
Yes, they do. Especially in Africa and the Caribbean, this is big. I mean, I'm not saying that women in other areas don't think this way, but that's been my experience with who I've communicated with. And so I've heard that, you know, men will find me more desirable, or I could marry a man that's higher in society if I bleach my skin. So that's one of the #1 reasons. A secondary reason is that women in my industry of entertainment and even media, like you, they feel that they'll get more opportunities, more money, and, you know, more roles, acting and stuff like that if their skin is lighter. Because a lot of those that are at the top of those industries do believe this. This is why we see a lot of that represented, and a lot less Lupita Nyong'os and Viola Davis, but a lot more Halle Berry,
those
Beyonce.
are people I love.
Yes, right.
You look like Viola.
Really?
Yes, the face, the diamond shape.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll check that. She's very cool. I love that woman. But yeah, so people just believe that there's more opportunity. And really quickly, I want to touch upon something. It's not completely off base that they feel this way. There's a woman in America, a Dr. Brown, and she does studies on particularly colorism. And they did a study of about 100 people, and they sent them off to job interviews. They all had an identical resume, same criteria, same skills, everything the same. The only difference was one group was dark, one group was light. About 80% of the time, the lighter skinned candidate was hired. And the darker skin was not. So there is a certain level of discrimination in society.
So even society is even making us want to bleach our skin to fit into the norm.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Wow. But there are implications.
Sure.
There are effects to this. If one is bleaching their skin, what are the effects they will encounter? And normally, let's look at the duration. You see, some people take creams that are, let's say, within the next year or two, they become lighter. But some is a process. Let's look at the side effects of all these creams.
Well, one thing I do know is that the less money that you spend, the slower the process.
Okay.
But also the harsher the chemicals. So it's this dynamic where those that have less money have access to the more dangerous products. And those that have more money have access to processes that are slightly less dangerous. I'll give you an example. Most bleaching creams contain 2 key components that are very toxic for your body. One is mercury, and the other is hydroquinone. These chemicals enter your body through your skin pores, and they enter your bloodstream. Now your body is trying to figure out, how do I process this chemical? I don't even know what this is. And so while your body is attempting to process it and get rid of it, it's also being absorbed into your cells and absorbed into your organs. So people don't realize that actually consistent bleaching for, you know, several years, like 3 to 5 years, you can actually offset cancer of the blood, cancer of the kidney, liver. And yes, just besides skin cancer, there's all of these other cancers because your whole body is ingesting these chemicals. And also your immune system goes down because your immune system is trying its hardest to get rid of this foreign thing that it doesn't understand. So all the other functions that it's supposed to pay attention to are being neglected while it's focusing on this. So you you see often that people that bleach often get malaria, typhoid, other just
they get sick often.
Yes, they're very sick often if you notice that, and that's because their immune system is also compromised. So very, very long-term bleaching, like 5 to 10 years, will lead to permanent damage.
Okay.
If it's below the 5-year mark, there is still hope for you to turn around because your skin, if you stop, it will repair itself and it will go back.
Okay.
But if you extend that period over a longer period of time, you will get to a point of no return where you won't.
I see certain vitamins, and let me go with vegetables. There are certain vegetables, when you take it naturally, it enhances the freshness, the vitality of your skin. I think carrots, tomatoes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. But we see these vegetables mixed in, and they are made in the form of creams. Are they safe?
That's such a good question. I would say no, and I'll tell you why. Because statistically, 80% of the skin products on the market in Africa contain bleaching agents. 80%. That means that every time you go to pick up a product, you have to look on those ingredients in the back. You just have to. Because more often than not, you're going to be taking in something that is, you know, very negative, very toxic. My suggestion would be, if you're looking for something that you want to believe in, I would go to a natural food store where they have vitamins, where they have essential oils. Because all of those oils that you're discussing, like vitamin K, which we find in carrots, vitamin C. Vitamin C is a very powerful skin lightener. Like for those who have like dark marks and hyperpigmentation, if you want to even your skin, you want to give it a glow that's healthy, vitamin C is amazing for this. But you have to have it in its natural form. Okay. So I would suggest going to the natural food places, and they would have the real, natural, non-contaminated version. Or check the label.
Okay, DELLASIE, this initiative that you are embarking on, what do you want to achieve in the long run?
Yes, that's a great question. I kind of parallel the work that I do to lung cancer and cigarette smoking, and I'll tell you why. In the 80s and the 90s, cigarette smoking was promoted very heavily in pop culture. You were able to smoke on airplanes, you were able to smoke in department stores and restaurants and anywhere and everywhere. They even used to make like candies with cigarette shapes for kids to encourage the practice so that when they're of age, they can develop the habit, right? So it was huge. But then people started realizing that people were dying of lung cancer. And this was not something that was spoken about before. So families who lost people to lung cancer started to lobby in politics and push for them to get warning labels on cigarettes so that people can be warned. They didn't stop everyone from smoking cigarettes. Even today, people still smoke cigarettes, but a lot less people do because they're aware of the risk. In that same way, I don't think I'm going to stop the whole world from skin bleaching. Exactly. But if there was some kind of like labeling, some warning, or some education that consumers can see immediately when they pick up the product, that is helpful. That will discourage people. That might not stop the world from doing it, but it can save some lives. You know? So essentially, that's what I would like to achieve.
And I hope you achieve that. And I know you can. But then we are wrapping up. What's the advice you give to young women, young girls who are watching you, just like you said, their kids are like, they love your skin and they want to be represented. People watching you, what would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
Okay, which camera do I look at?
This one. Oh, no, this one. This one. Yeah.
Hi kids. What I would say is that always believe that you and your dreams are 100% valid. You know, this world is not easy for people that live in this black skin. And I'm not gonna kid you into believing that it's an easy road. It's not an easy road. There will be a lot of times in life where you might second guess yourself. There might be other people that are making you second guess yourself with the things that they do to you and the things that they say to you. But understand that God made you the way you are for a reason, for a very good purpose, and you should embrace that. The only kind of good and beautiful skin out there is beautiful skin, healthy skin, skin that is well taken care of. It's not a complexion, it's not a skin tone, it's the health of your skin. Know that this is the only skin you will receive in your life. You don't get a second chance. So protect it with everything that you have, and know and have the confidence to understand that you are valid, your dreams are valid, and you can do anything and everything you want to do if you believe in yourself and you work hard. So
Thank you very much, Delasie. And I like what you said. I've quoted it. You and your dreams are 100% valid.
Yes,
and that's
amen.
from Delasie. Yeah. She is a philanthropist, a recording artist, and also a humanitarian, and also a public speaker. And she's creating more awareness on skin cancer, and especially skin bleaching. So whatever you see here on social media, what's your account?
Yes, so on social media, I'm Delasie basically everywhere.
Delasie,
So that's
okay.
DELLASIE.
Okay.
And if anybody would like to get involved, volunteer, or even donate to my NGO, you could find me on DELLASIE.com and just go to the email and send me a message.
Okay, send the message and let's support. Like she said, she can't eradicate or stop people from bleaching, but then she'll go a long way if she starts step by step. Thank you very much. It was very delightful to see you, Delasie.
Oh, likewise.
Okay.